Open Heart, 3rd year, Chapter 6, Checks and Balances. After your difficult decision about your last patient, you find yourself unable to sleep. Did I make the right decision, or should I have done things differently? With the dawn just beginning to break outside, you decide it's useless and roll out of bed. Maybe working out will help turn my mind off. Quietly, you get dressed and sneak out of the apartment, leaving your roommates still sleeping in the dark. The sun is still barely lighting the horizon when you arrive at the Edenbrook gym an hour before your shift. You expect the gym to be empty, but... Hey, Casey. Fancy seeing you here this morning. Bryce, what are you doing here so early, and how many weights do you have on that thing? You think guns like these just happen, Casey? If I want to maintain all this, I gotta get my workouts in whenever I can. One of the attending surgeons is for a cardioid endocardotomy, and he requested me as lead surgeon, so I'm definitely not gonna find time later. Wow, Bryce, operating for one of your bosses is pretty major. Are you nervous? Nah, I've scrubbed in on this surgery a dozen times. Besides, I'm the only surgical resident who's never screwed up a procedure. It'll be a breeze. Something tells me karma is gonna smack you with the humble stick here in a minute. What I really need to focus on is how I'll celebrate. I could arrange for a lunchtime bungee jump, maybe hit the racetrack again. Bryce, you need to take this more seriously. A cardioid endocardotomy is no laughing matter, Bryce. Especially when the patient can decide your career. If you make a mistake... You would have a point. If I made mistakes, I'm gonna smack him myself. Bryce, I'm serious, you're good, but it only takes a fraction of a second for things to go wrong in surgery. Trust me, I know that better than anyone, but I've got the skills to see this through. Anyway, I'd better go shower up, weights are all yours. But first, pulls you against him, pressing his lips to yours. Heat off his warm muscles is tantalizing. I did not condone this, but too soon. He pulls away. One sweaty kiss is all I get? Let's call this a preview. He walks out of the gym, whistling nonchalantly, and you realize the conversation helped take your mind off of your worries for a bit. By the time you finish your workout and hit the showers, your head feels much clearer. And that's why I stress working out. Harper and Ethan are in the diagnostics office when you arrive. Harper offers you a welcoming, reassuring smile. I'd rather have a cup of coffee. Ethan does the same, though he is a little subtler and more wistful. Good morning, Casey. I trust you were able to get some sleep. Not as much as I'd like, but I'll manage. Believe that makes two of us. Just then, Tobias sweeps the door, a tray full of coffee in hand. Is that for us? Absolutely. Consider it a peace offering of sorts. I realize I didn't get off on the best foot with the team. Been laced with Dokalax, hasn't it? That's putting it mildly. Look, I know we are going to disagree sometimes, but I'm thrilled to be here, and I want us to be able to work together. Thank you, Tobias. I'm pretty sure every doctor works better with caffeine. Everyone does. Ethan glances at you, raising an eyebrow. You remember your conversation in the garden and your advice on how to deal with Tobias. Come on, Ethan, baby steps. Thank you, Tobias. He takes the coffee with a nod. It's almost gracious. Tobias looks surprised, but covers it quickly with a smirk. You're welcome. Hope you like it. Depends on whether you remember how I take it. Locum. Oh, stop it! I could do a pun. Ethan, I lived with you for 2 years. I remember more about your coffee preferences than most of my microbiology seminars. Those were some boring seminars, to be honest. They're not exactly besties yet, but they seem like they're on their way to a better relationship. How about you, Casey? There's a coffee here with your name on it. Thanks. That's thoughtful of you. Don't thank me yet. I still don't know how you like your coffee, but I brought cream and sugar if you need it. I'm sure I can manage, and don't worry, it'll be more than enough time to learn Team's coffee preferences. A challenge I readily accept. Looks to me like Tobias is more thoughtful than Ethan gives him credit for. Sure, we'll go with that. Moving on, we have several possible cases to review. You start with a folder on the top. Patient's got sudden adult-onset asthma and chest tightness. No known allergies or exposure to irritants. Any recent illnesses that could explain those symptoms? The patient's recently experienced a bout of stomach flu, but there were no respiratory symptoms. So the case is a mystery, huh? Sounds right up our... Wait a second. It says here the patient's a 52-year-old woman, right? You flip through the pages and notes and tap a particular entry. Thought so. She's menopausal. According to this, she was prescribed estrogen 6 months ago to treat the symptoms. Major hormone changes can trigger adult-onset asthma. The primary physician must have not thought of it as possible cause. We'll flag it for them and recommend adjusting the dosage. Good catch, Casey. The next case looks interesting. Teenage boy, painful joints, recently presenting with a heart murmur. Rheumatoid fever, perhaps? Patient's not running a fever. Could be rheumatic heart disease caused by a past rheumatic fever incident. It's usually only 10 to 20 years to develop. The patient's only 17. Have they ruled out genetic cartilage disorder? Could be a mild case of Marfan's or one of Ehlers-Danlos syndromes could be in play. Good point. Alright, we'll recommend genetic testing through their primary. If it comes back negative, we can consider the case again. So, we still don't have a case. Yes, that's the downside of so much brilliance concentrated in one room. Ethan's eyes roll, then flips to the next folder. You all start reading. Tobias is first to speak up. This one's gonna be interesting. Another teenager, girl who's been complaining of intense pain in her back and a lingering fever for a month. And before you say Lyme, this patient hasn't been anywhere near any ticks, and her test came back negative, but they did a CT scan. Wow, according to this, her doctors concluded she was faking her symptoms to get out of exams at school. Of course, why believe a young girl who tells you she's in pain? Why believe a lot of young adults who say anything? Oh, that's right, because society. If it's not Lyme disease, we should do more digging. I'd like to take a look at the CT scan as well. Oh man, sounds like we're precariously close to finding a case. On that note, I suppose the formalities are in order. All in favor? He's interrupted by a knock on the door before someone else can answer. It opens and Bloom just walks in. We'll be right with you. We're voting on our next case. He crosses the room to the four of you, drops a file in the middle of the table, folding his arms and grinning. Then I came just in time. There's your next case. Excuse me? No, not democracy. Get out, dickhead. Wait, what? But what about our other patient? Oh, don't worry, I'm sure they'll be there once you've finished up with this. You don't know that. This patient needs our help now. There can always be patients that need treatment, and right now the patient's treatment is your priority. You promised me in no uncertain terms that this team would have total anonymity when picking our cases. You're right, I did, but you have failed to actualize that opportunity. What does that mean? In tech, we learn how important it is to fail fast and iterate. It's the most efficient way to ideal situation or solution. Usually in medicine, we like to keep that kind of thinking in the lab. Yeah, not when a patient's life is on the line. That's one place for it, but not the only place. Letting you run the team the way your way was a test, to see whether you could find a way to work with this hospital and its goals. To be blunt, you failed the test. And this is now our next iteration. This isn't software, Leland. This is human life we're talking about. You're letting that cloud your judgment. Optimization is optimization. If I can get this team working better, you save more lives. Surely that would make it even you happy, wouldn't it, Dr. Ramsey? I think we can all agree that patients' lives are important, but if Bloom's brought us an interesting case and the need is equal, what difference does it make which case we take? Your input is noted, Tobias. Casey Harper, how do you feel? I have to side with Ethan. Ethan's methods for running the team has always worked in the past. It's why you felt this team was so an important part of the hospital, Mr. Bloom. Fiddling with how we operate is just going to put our patients at risk. Besides, decisions on which cases to take should be made by doctors. You're thinking about this too narrowly. Ethan's method worked well enough, but what if another method is better? That's my goal. Ethan's sighs heavily, jaw tight. I suppose this is an order, not a request. You are as brilliant as they say, aren't you, Dr. Ramsey? Fuming, Ethan opens the file, glances through it. His angry expression shifts slowly to bafflement. This would be an interesting case, but this patient has already been diagnosed with cutaneous porphyria. Cutaneous porphyria, that's basically an allergy to sunlight, right? Oh, for the love of... Yeah, and curing that, good luck. Correct, Dr. Valentine, and it's interesting, isn't it, no? The body reacting to something necessarily as though it were a deadly threat. Exchange meaningful looks with Harper and Ethan. This has nothing to do with helping more patients. It's just another attempt to fix his wife's disorder. Even if we didn't get the diagnosis, or diagnose the case, cutaneous porphyria is pretty exciting. I've only seen it once in my career. My faults exactly. Now, as I understand it, the patient is currently going through a flare-up. While you manage symptoms, you can run some practical tests to help point out our research team towards new potential avenues of discovery. What sort of tests? Well, I'm no doctor, but of course, these things are like skin samples, blood tests, stress tests, all of which could be done more efficiently by another team, preferably one that specializes in blood disorders. Ah, but that team wouldn't be approaching the tests with a blindfold diagnostics, mind. I don't buy it. Any team in the hospital could connect a few monitors and watch the results. I want to know why us. I told you once, patient care is done when I say it is. Since you refuse to learn that lesson, I thought you needed a new opportunity. So basically this is like smacking the rat for not finding the cheese. Your stomach sinks and Ethan goes pale. Bloom has at least guessed about the team's role in convincing Suzette to quit his drug trial, and this is his response. I'm not about to pick every single case you take on, but this one you will. Make no mistake, so get to work. With that, he turns and leaves, an awkward silence lingering in his wake. That was unexpected. Actually, I think we should all have seen that coming in one form or another. Believe me, some of us did. There seems to be a lot of changes happening all at once, including me, of course. At least Tobias sees it as a issue. Tobias, you don't even know half of it. There's been a lot of changing at Edenbrook besides the decor and tech. I can imagine. Mass Kenmore had its quirks, but in general things stayed pretty stable, which made life more predictable. Still, I don't mind change. Keeps things interesting, at least. Everyone goes silent, lost in their own thoughts. Look, we all need a reset. The patient is still getting checked in. In the meantime, I'd love to take you all out to a friendly lunch. In the meantime, I'd like to look at the other patient folder. We can do both. We can get to know each other a bit better. We can come up with a strategy on how to manage Bloom going forward. A strategy to manage Bloom? Are you saying you're on our side now? I'd like to be. We're all teammates, after all. We may not be able to override Bloom, but having a plan is at least a start. I think that's a fantastic idea. I, for one, think a united front would help each and every one of us. It's certainly an interesting proposal. You could tell Ethan's interest is piqued. It would be good to feel like a part of a real team again, and it would definitely help us take on Bloom. Join Tobias for a team lunch to plan your Bloom strategy and get to know Tobias better. Oh, save me. Somebody save! Listen, no question, I felt like singing, kiss my ass. Fantastic, Ethan. Ready to join this party? Ethan looks at the three of you, then sighs, a little of his usual tension easing. Why not? I wouldn't be much of a leader if I didn't join the team on such an important strategy session. But don't you dare try to pull the wasabi stunt on me again, Tobias. What's the wasabi stunt? Oh, it's a story I know Ethan wouldn't want me to tell you, which is why I have every intention of sharing it as soon as we get seated. Oh man, I can't wait. A little while later, the four of you are sitting in a cozy booth listening to Tobias' dramatic retelling of the wasabi incident. So I told him, okay, Ethan, their first thing to know about sushi is to eat the avocado first. And I pointed out the big chunk of green paste. Oh god, my sinuses hurt just imagining that. And of course, he takes it all in one bite, just pure, concentrated, super spicy horseradish mustard. Yes, how foolish of me for believing my friend. I've never seen someone go that red before. Wasabi's not that bad. Wow. You really didn't know about wasabi? You strike me as the type who discovered sushi around the time the rest of us were learning to read. Actually, it was Tobias who introduced me to it, along with the Ethiopian food, though I do get get credit for his first lobster roll. Oh god, at that shack on the side of the road? What was that place called? Frank's Clam Shack. Best woodshed you'll ever dine in. Oh, we should go back there sometime, if it's still around. Ethan chuckles, shoulders loosening a bit. So, should we all be sleeping with one eye open, Tobias? Or perhaps, more to the point, x-raying our food before diving in? Oh no, my pranking days are behind me. Now I stick exclusively to, stimulating wind. Please let me know when I can expect to see any sign of that. Harper smothers a chuckle with her hand. You sound like Professor, Karkovan. Do you remember him? How could I nod? As if biochem at the crack of dawn wasn't bad enough without his constant needling. Oh, he only did it to us because he could see that we had potential. Either that or he was pegging us as competition. Speaking of competition, I should watch my back around you, Casey. You're one of the most promising young doctors I've seen in years. Really? It's all thanks to Ethan. I wouldn't be anywhere near the doctor I am today without Ethan's mentorship. No offense to Ethan, but I think you're selling yourself short. For once, we're in total agreement. Casey has been an excellent doctor from day one. Is that the guy who yelled at me on my first day for almost messing up a tracheotomy? Oh, he does that thing with everyone. He secretly thinks it's awesome. You should have heard some of the stuff he yelled at me for. And see, this is why I'm more like Ethan than people realize. What? Like getting your dirty laundry off our couch? Trust me! That annoyance had nothing to do with your medical potential, Tobias. For what it's worth, Casey, I'm glad you're around. I can tell already you're going to really push me. What? Off a cliff? Ooh! There's a pause, then the dam breaks and the four of you burst into shared laughter, the tension easing. Sorry, you just made it too easy. Fair enough, I guess I'll have to up my game in more ways than one. Speaking of games, weren't we going to plan our strategy against Bloom because, from where I'm standing, he's just put us on check. Agreed. It feels pretty clear that we need to come up with a strategy if we want to protect our anonymity. Fucking goddamn Finding Nemo. I mean, I agree, but I'm kind of surprised to hear you saying it seems like you're pretty firmly in his corner. What makes you think that? Bloom handpicked you for the team, for one thing. I have to agree, I assumed you'd back whatever play he made. I was being honest before. I don't really have any skin in which cases we take, as long as they're interesting to work on. For interesting work to happen, we need a functional team, and I've seen enough to know that Bloom's going to try to make that difficult. Yes, but if he gets sick of Ethan's shit, he'll just can Ethan and put you in charge. Ah, look at that, I win. It would be nice if we could just focus on the medicine instead of constantly playing whatever game he throws us into. I don't see a way we can be rid of him completely. Working against him is just going to put the team in danger and make us stress out even more. Agreed, which is why I'm suggesting working around him rather than against him. What did you have in mind? Whenever Bloom shows up to listen in, things get tense and unfocused, which is why our first goal needs to be making sure he doesn't come around in the first place. A distraction offense, if you will. Interesting. There might be something to that. With the four of us on a team again, we might be able to manage it. It could buy us enough time to bring in the patients who need our help before he's able to interfere. I'm still new here, so I'm probably not the best person to plan the details. Casey, if you had to distract Bloom, how would you do it? I think I'd ask after his wife and how she's doing, inquire about the research test he's running, pretend to need his opinion on a case. His wife. Whatever else Bloom is, we all know how deeply he cares about her. Just giving him the chance to talk about her would probably be enough to keep him distracted for hours. We'll have to be careful not to lay it on too thick. He'll get suspicious if we constantly palm it up to ask about his family. Agreed. It's all about showing the right amount of friendly interest, but I think Casey is right. A man as enamored as he is always wants an excuse to talk about his special someone. I suppose that might be something to do that. Well, we can even work out a rotation, keep tabs on a schedule. Operation Bloom Barricade. I'm not certain I should be part of that rotation. Oh, don't worry, I know you'll be no good at the distraction offensive. That's why I'm willing to put up the extra work here. No need to thank me, of course. It's just nice to be needed. Grinning wryly, Tobias holds up his glass and a toast. So, to the plan? To the plan. To the plan. Oh, for the goodness. To the plan. Doing glasses and share a smile. For the first time in a while, it feels like you're part of a team again. The rest of the lunch passes in a cheerful haze of friendly chatter and playful strategizing as Tobias goes up to front to pay. Harper goes to the bathroom. Ethan glances at you. Casey, thank you for pushing me into this. It's ridiculous that I think Tobias' plan might actually work. Maybe, but I'm right there with you. Ethan glances up to the counter, face turning pensive. I have to say, it's been surprisingly pleasant spending time with Tobias again. I take it he's not as bad as you remember? Oh, worse, but I've been so caught up in my rivalry and differences for so long, and forgotten how much about him I actually liked and admired. Well, that's good to hear. Whatever helped you work together. The tension in the team has been holding us back. If this lunch means you and he can work together more smoothly, I'll count it as a win. You're right, of course. And I feel that at least is possible now that we've had this discussion. I don't know what Tobias' endgame is, or if he even has one, but at least we can get along on a professional level. That's all that matters, and if things improve on a personal level, then that's icing on the cake. Ethan reaches for your hand right at the table, eyes softening as he gazes at your face. It continuously surprises me to have someone understand me as well as you do. I'd say you should expect it by now, but I think I'd prefer to keep surprising you indefinitely. Ethan leans forward to capture your lips with his, kissing you softly and tenderly before pulling away. Tobias comes back to the table, wallet in one hand, a pager in the other. I just got a page from the hospital. Our new patient just checked in. It sounds like Operation Bloom Barricade is a go. Tobias, you're up first. Later, you, Ethan, and Harper convene in the patient's room to begin the series of tests. No Bloom in sight. Looks like Tobias' plan is working so far. Setting up a meeting between Bloom and the genetics team was a pretty brilliant idea. It was basically a guarantee Bloom would be interested. Plus, Bloom handpicked Tobias, so he probably won't suspect the invitation. Meanwhile, we get to relax and focus on the patient. Sounds like a win-win to me. The patient, an exhausted-looking young man named John, looks at you with a wan confusion, clearly suffering from porphyria-related fatigue. I'm confused. I thought they found out what was wrong with me. Why do I still need tests? It's all in the interest of improving your quality of life, but don't worry. We'll have them done as quickly as we can. So this'll help my treatment? We certainly hope so. We still don't know a lot about Porphyria, so the hope is that these tests might give us insight as to future research. Okay, I'll do my best, but I am a little tired. No surprise there, exhaustion is one of the symptoms of Porphyria. Believe me, we're sympathetic. We'll try to finish these tests with minimal discomfort. Alright, we're gonna start with a skin scratch test. Hold still. Ouch! Sorry, my skin's really sensitive there. Don't worry, I understand. And we're already done with this one. What's next on the list? Bloom's requested a stress test on the treadmill to check if the different levels of exertion affect the flare-up. Of course he did. A treadmill? I don't know how much energy I have for that. We understand, John. Don't worry. We won't push you any harder than you're able to go. A few minutes later, the three of you stand behind thin dividing glass, observing while John attempts a light jog on the lowest setting. This is ridiculous. Porphyria leaves patients exhausted already, and now Bloom wants to put them through stress tests? What is he thinking? I imagine he's thinking that exertion affects oxidation of the blood. Stress tests could give us a new insight into how the disease works. Perhaps, but I don't see why our patient has to suffer just for insight. Luckily, now that Bloom's been redirected, we can keep the patient's discomfort to a minimum. The three of you run through the rest of the tests as quickly as possible, gently raising the speed, observing his vitals, and taking regular blood samples. Alright, John, that's the last test. I'll take you back to your room now. Okay, this wasn't as bad as I thought. Thankfully, we had Tobias running interference. I have a feeling this could have gone differently if Bloom had been breathing down our necks. While Harper helps John back to his room, Ethan hands you the samples. Would you deliver these to the lab, Casey? I'd prefer not to risk an encounter with Bloom down there. I'm not sure how I'd react. You're still angry at him, huh? Good thing I'm here. Running errands and handling nefarious bosses with a calm smile, or just a few of my many useful skills. Don't sell those skills short. I, for one, find them in short supply at the time being. You part ways with Ethan and make your way to the lab. You're just emerging from the lab when you spot Bryce hovering near the nurse's station, looking dazed. Hey, Bryce, are you alright? What? Oh, hi, Casey. Yeah, I'm great. He forces on a smile, but it's not convincing. On the countertop, you notice his hands are shaking. Bryce, what's going on? Your hands never shake. Did the humble stick smack him? Just not here, yeah? You lead him into an empty patient room, closing the door behind you. Talk to me, Bryce. What's wrong? I've never seen you like this. I messed up, Casey. It was a cardioid endarterectomy. My hand slipped. I nicked the arterial wall. There was blood everywhere. Oh my god, is the patient okay? Were you able to bounce back from it? Yes, thankfully. The team was, at least. What are you saying? Usually I'd be able to recover from something like that. In fact, usually stuff like that never happens to me in the first place. But for some reason I just froze completely. The arterial wall was weak, so the nick spread further than it should have. There was so much blood so fast my mind just went blank. If the intern assisting on the surgery hadn't stepped up when he did, I might have lost the patient. Bryce, you shouldn't have been so cocky. You went into surgery acting like nothing could possibly go wrong. Maybe you need to plan for the worst case scenario more often. You're right, I figured I could handle it, you know? I'd done this so many times before. And that doesn't mean shit. Sure, but every time you do any surgery, you're taking someone's life into your hands. Literally. Trust me, that has never been more apparent to me. It just took you almost losing a patient to literally apparently show you that. Are you gonna be okay? Sure, yeah. I'll be fine, I need to get my mind off this. Smiles ruefully. I've been planning to use the rest of the day to celebrate. Maybe not so much now. Why are you smiling when you say it? Poor Bryce. It sounds like he really needs a friend to help him work through this. No! No, he doesn't! No! To glance at your charts for the day and realize your rounds are minimal. I'm sure someone would cover for me, and Raph's usually free around this time. Maybe together we could help Bryce blow off some steam. Cheer Bryce up with a rousing game of paintball. Together you and Raph can help him get his head back in the game. I'm the type of person who sits here and goes, maybe this individual needs to contemplate and think about their issues and why they did what they did, and then get them out of their pit. No, let's just go ahead and direct him right away from that. You know what you need? A fun distraction. Just give me a second. You text a quick message summarizing the situation to your group chat. Very soon your phone chimes with return texts. Trin. Oh, of course. I'll cover your rounds. Send Bryce warm fuzzies from all of us. I'm booked up today, but tell the scalpel jockey to go easy on himself. I'm free. Meet you two out front. Come on, Bryce. I think I know exactly what you need right now. I'm in your hands. Ha! No, not literally. Alright, we're here. The scene of the murder. Murder? Didn't you know I'm about to slaughter you all in paintball? Haley! I say that sounds like a challenge, but you know I'm totally gonna dominate you, right? Hey guys, no need to fight. You're both gonna lose. Stand aside, boys. I've got this in the bag. Fighting words, huh? You think you can beat us? I know I can. Your big muscles aren't gonna get you anywhere. They just make you a larger target. Says you, $10 I can flex hard enough to bounce your paintball pellets off. That's not how paintball works, dude. I'll take that bet just for the fun of watching you try. You all grab your guns, move at a paintball course, a multi-level affair with multiple vantage points and hiding spots. Alright, players, first game's a free-for-all, last person standing wins, game starts when the whistle blows. Sounds like that's our cue to split up and hide. See you soon, when I splatter you in oblivion. You slip away from the boys and deeper into the paintball course, finding a place to hide and take cover while the seconds tick down. They find cover behind some of the crates just as the whistle blows and the game starts. Charge in, paintball guns blazing. Sneak quietly around and hunt. Wait them out. I'm gonna let them come to me. You hunker down in your corner, things are quiet for minutes, punctuated with the occasional distant rat-tat-tat-tat gunfire, but no yells of defeat or victory. Finally, Raph emerges around a corner, looking around wildly behind him. By the time he turns to you, it's too late. Hey, Raph, say hello to my little friend. Splat, 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 splat. You unload a stream of automatic pellets onto him, paint splatter all over his gear. He laughs in a good, hard-natured defeat. Man, I didn't even see you there, but I'm not one to worry about. Splat, splat, splat. Whoa, what the? Much better with a little color, don't you think? I don't know why we jumped him. We should have just waited. The whole point was to hunker down. You look down, spotting 3 perfect splats of paint. You look up at Bryce to find him, smiling and cocking his gun, his hands now totally steady. Looks like someone forgot who the real threat is around here. I won't make that mistake again. Pixelberry took the choice away from us even though we said hunker down. You chase after the boys as they dash away, following them as they turn a corner, doubling back, and then... splat to the chest, Casey. Consider that payback. Ooh, I'll get you for that. I have a paint pellet with your name on it, Raph. It'll have to wait. Boom! 2 in the back and a sneak attack. How do you like them? Splat. Hey, what's the big idea, Casey? It just avenged you. And you made this perfect target while you did, and now I'd suggest you run or duck before I take another shot. Laughing, Bryce dashes away under a hail of paint bullets from both of you, Raph, and you reload, then chase them across the warehouse. The battle rages on, the air filled with sounds of splats and auto fire until eventually it's interrupted by your stomach growling. I think it's time for a snack break. Snack. schmack. A game that's fiercely fought calls for a large pepperoni pizza. Well, that's enough for me. What are the rest of you having? It's not long before you're seated in a paintball party room. A full spread of pop, chips, and pepperoni pizza spread out in front of you. Perfect. Just the kind of fuel I need to keep dominating you all in there. It looks like someone's got their swagger back. Bryce's smile falters slightly and he puts down a slice of pizza with a sigh. I guess it's just... this is different, you know? The stakes don't matter when it's paintball, so it's a lot easier to be confident. I don't think I'd feel the same way in the OR right now. That makes sense. I certainly felt scared the first few times I messed up or froze. It's tough when you've got those higher stakes weighing on you. It's just not something I'm used to. But this really helped. Back at the hospital, I kept on replaying the surgery over and over in my head, but this helped take my mind off of it. And I'm glad we did it. Whatever you need, Bryce. We're always here for you. I know. And speaking of being here for each other, ready for a rematch? I gotta defend this championship after all. Hell yes. I think the whole point was this: we would lose regardless. The match begins, you sneak off in a corner, but you can see where Bryce and Raph are positioned. Could be a good chance to get some alone time, or some revenge. I should make out with Bryce, make out with Raph. Take them both down. But get ready, guys, I'm coming for you. You all grin at each other as you break up and search for cover. Soon the bell signals for the start of the game. You start creeping around the course. At first, there's no sign of Bryce or Raph. Then you hear something. Psst. Can you see her? Where is she? Oh, no. No, this is illegal. You are not allowed to team when it's a free-for-all. Not yet. Be quiet. She doesn't know we teamed up. That is cheating. That is cheating like hell. And you didn't know to look up. Raph and Bryce see you perched above them just as you train your guns on the chest. This is where I just unload. Team up my ass. You laugh as you rain paint down on them, both boys yelling in chaos, trying to escape. You've got them on the run when... Your time is up! Please exit the paintball course. Saved by the bell. We would have made a comeback. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have. We'll play, Casey. Yeah, she had the high ground, like Obi-Wan. Match over, the three of you shed your gear and make your way to the drop-off window. Casey, thanks again for doing this. For taking my mind off of things. Anytime, Bryce. How are you feeling? Well, not saying I'm ready to go back to the OR just yet. But look. He holds up his hand to show you it's steady as a rock. Now that's something I'm thrilled to see. It's all fun and games until you have to go back in the OR and your hand shakes a little. Laughing, Bryce loops a friendly arm over your shoulder, throwing the other over Raph's, and the three of you stroll away with a spring in your steps. I have a question. Just a quick question. Why didn't they offer to have us make out with both? Ah, hypocrisy at Pixelberry. Don't you love it? Later, Harper pages the team and you all meet up in the diagnostics office. Good news. Apparently Bloom has given the go-ahead to move the patient to regular palliative care. Apparently they've arranged for an appointment with the hospital nutritionist. They should be able to help fine-tune his diet and hopefully prevent future flare-ups. Glad to hear it. But Bloom will do this again. I guess we can look forward to an endless stream of Bloom's pet projects. Hey, at least they're interesting cases. That may be true, but they're still a waste of our time if they don't need diagnosing. I fear this is just the beginning of Bloom's meddling. The plan to distract him worked well, but we need to cut him off at the root if we want to actually get work done. Agreed. We've had a good test run, but we need to keep up working together to keep Bloom in check and stop him from telling us what to do. I admit I'm surprised by how gung-ho you are about this, Tobias. Ethan, you sense it too? You should know by now that I never appreciate being told what to do, Ethan. Well, that's certainly true. Good to see they're getting along, at least to some degree. The way I see it, we need to streamline our process. If we picked a case faster, Bloom would have to strong-arm someone else into doing his glorified lab work. It's a simple case of how too many cooks. I think we need to get back to one. The one who's been running things so far. Wait, did I just hear that right? Is he suggesting we played Bloom's democracy game if he shows up, but functionality? I think Ethan should just pick our cases. That's how it worked before, right? It is, but you want me to decide for the team? Am I hearing this right, Tobias? Hey, what can I say? If we want to maintain control of our work, we need a united front, and you're the best unifier. Casey, what do you think? Honestly, I want to know the catch. What's that supposed to mean? Because I'm suspicious as hell as you and I'm not biting my tongue this time. Ethan is your biggest rival. Why not try to take the spot for yourself? A fair question, and for the record, I would be an amazing team lead. Oh dear lord. But I'm still the newbie interloper. Putting me in charge would just fragment things more. Better to stick with a strategy we know works. I suppose that makes sense. Harper, thoughts? I think it's a good idea, personally. Obviously, I like having my opinions heard, but a team like this needs a leader. Well then, I suppose my vote carries it. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Tobias. No. Voting was the way we used to do it. Very funny. On that note, let's kick this off tomorrow. The team says their goodnights and filters out of the diagnostics office. As you leave, you glance back at Ethan sitting thoughtfully at his desk, his expression a mix of worry and hope. You move over to the desk, resting a hand on his shoulder and squeezing once reassuringly. You can get through this, Ethan. I know you can. Thank you, Casey. Knowing I have you by my side, I might actually believe that. He smiles at you, and you head out. When you turn back to the doorway, you see the worry hadn't left his eyes. I can't tell if I should be excited for tomorrow or even more nervous than before. Almost the moment you arrive back at the apartment, Sienna is on you, wild-eyed. Down, girl, down. Oh, thank goodness. You're home. I've been waiting for you. Why? Is everything okay, Sienna? You're kidding, right? You must be kidding. She grabs you by the arm and drags you into the dining room where you find Jackie, Aurora, and Elijah sitting at the table, books open in front of them. Just thought you'd managed to escape. I don't think anyone could escape Sienna in her current mood. That's Sienna's secret superpower. Looks sweet, but can kick, and, will kick your butt if she deems it necessary. I'm sorry, I missed something. What is this about? Hello? Have you forgotten about our board exams? Our boards? I've been focusing on patients. Between taking care of them and managing all the team drama, I hadn't even had time to think about the boards. Well, you should make time. They're super important. Sure, but we're all, so are all other things we're doing, Sienna. We can't do everything at once. Maybe you can. Guys, this is serious. Work in the hospital has been a lot easier, but that doesn't mean the boards will be. The slacking ends right now. We're gonna crack down and study all night. Is that clear? You know, I think studying would go a lot easier if there were cookies waiting for us at the end. Nah, dog, coffee. You'll get cookies once you've earned them, Green. Yes, ma'am. Aurora rolls her eyes at you and flips open a book. You join them and spend half of an hour diligently reviewing the information. Wow, half an hour. My vision's going blurry. Can't focus on the words on the page. You glance around to see how the others are doing. Sienna is frazzled, going back and forth on one page over and over. Elijah's nodding off. Jackie looks bored, her eyes unfocused as she reads. Only Aurora looks calm and focused. But she's on her third coffee in 30 minutes. God damn it, that's right, and that's how we stay focused. This isn't working, but I bet a change of scenery would perk us up, and maybe help us study more efficiently. You're pondering this when you're suddenly distracted by two noses. One soft and furry, and one dry and scaly, nuzzling against your hand. Locum, Crush, what are you doing up here on the table? I figure we could use the company. I thought you were nodding off. You scoop Locum up for a cuddle, only to feel a warm, furry tail brush against your ankle. You look down to see Cinnamon rubbing happily against your leg. That's right. You are my best study buddies. Studying is easier with cuteness as a motivation, which gives me an idea of where we could find it. Take a study break with your roomies at the cat cafe and make some furry friends as you prep for your board exams. Of course that's a yes. Guys, I think we need to change this up a bit. We're all glazed over. But we can't just quit. Not saying we should, but why not take the study session to a new cat cafe? It'll be more relaxing, change of scenery, which means we'll learn better. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to check that place out. Studies have shown that petting a cat releases serotonin, which reduces stress and improves focus. Sounds exactly like what makes a study session needs. Are you sure it won't be a distraction? For maybe you. We'll be fine. And just think, all those tiny, adorable, fluffy kittens just waiting to be cuddled. Oh, that does sound nice. Okay, I guess I'm in. The five of you enter the cat cafe, the soft sounds of meowing and purring greeting you as you open the door. Guess the guitar career didn't work out, did it? Hello and welcome to Kit and Caboodle. Can I get you something to drink before you meet the kitties? Oh god, yes. Black coffee, chocolate frappe, iced tea. How about black coffee with a little bit of sugar, just a touch of cream? Whoa, going whole hog on that caffeine, huh? This is still a study session, just with max cuteness. I like where your head's at, Casey. Make that too. The barista hands the drinks to you, and you take a sip. Rich, bitter flavor covers your tongue. Oh god, yes! Drinks in hand, you all move into the main seating area, and... oh my god! You're all confronted with an adorable army of cats and kittens. They wander the floor, sleep up to the tables, brush past your legs affectionately. So cute. Look how sweet they are. Hey, look at the little tiger here. Hello, sweetie. One by one, your friends pick out an adorable cat to lavish affection on. Sienna squeals and gathers up an old tortoiseshell, while Aurora makes friends with a hairless sphinx. Barris the Destroyer all kneel before him. Alright, which of you cuties is gonna be my new best friend? Notice a few kittens climbing out of a nearby basket to approach the table. The one that meowed looks up at you sweetly, only to be pounced on by its feisty litter mate. Oh god, yes, you! We shall call him Wuzzy, because that was the name of him and It Lives in the Woods. The two tussle and play fight, and the kitten cowers at the other end of the basket, shivering a little. Oh my god, no, you stop it right now. Oh my god, you're all adorable. What? Why did you turn this one evil looking? Dude, little sweetie, no, shy ones, okay? They say nice guys finish last, my ass, okay? Oh, that's Leo. He's very shy, but he loves to be cuddled. Just be gentle with him. No, I was gonna toss him. Like that chick on Twitch who decides to toss her cat and put vodka in its mouth and all that shit. I forget her name, but hiss. Of course. Hey there, Leo. Ow. Carefully reach out and pet his soft fur. He shrinks back a little, clearly anxious. Aw, don't shiver, sweetie. Come here. Pick up Leo and cradle him close to your chest. You feel his little body press against you, then go still and relaxed. Looks like he likes you. Actually, that gives me an idea. Rubber ducking with these cats might help us focus better. Rubber ducking? What's that? It's something in computer programming. Wayne mentioned it when we were dating. The idea is that you explain a bug or tricky piece of code to a rubber duck. Explaining it out helps you see the problem more clearly and get inspired with solutions. But it doesn't have to be a rubber duck. Anything that doesn't speak your language can work. A potted plant, a coffee cup, an adorable kitty. So, I'm explaining things to Tiger here. Maybe he can help me remember the different causes of hypokalemia. Alright, Yoda. I need to talk with you about how to manage a, we're calling her Yoda. Staphylococcus skin abscess. Ow! You hold the kitten up to your face and make serious eye contact. Okay, buddy. Let's try this question about... All I can think about is allergies. Shut up! Disease. Okay, stay with me. This is gonna get complicated. A 42-year-old woman is complaining of red, uncomfortable eyes with clear discharge. You're examining fine swelling in the eyelids and lymph glands behind the ears. Any thoughts on the diagnosis? Lymph infection. Swollen thyroids. I can think of a few others, but would have to do some blood tests. Leo responds by cuddling even closer, burrowing his face near your chest. Oh, sweetie, it's okay. See, I know how to help the patient now that I've said it out loud. Ow. The most likely cause is a andiovirus, a really stubborn kinds of viruses like pink eye or bronchitis.
Yes, I was right.
Given the symptoms, the likeliness is conjunctivitis. That makes your eyes get swollen and red, understand? Ow! Fantastic. Let's see if I can explain another one. Ow. You go through several other disease-focused questions, nailing every single one. The others seem to be doing just as well, rattling off questions and explanations to their cats in rapid fire for half an hour. Okay, guys, that's a good warm-up. But for now, for the rails test, we need to start testing each other. Everyone pick a partner. Elijah, come here. I like you. Alright, you first or me? Ow. Sounds like Leo thinks it's your turn. Alright, I know better than to argue with them. Okay, how about this? What are the major symptoms of the Zollinger-Ellison syndrome? Oh, going straight for a rare syndrome's brutal. Let me think. That's an excess of gastric acid, right? Yeah, that's right, which means it causes vomiting, weight loss, diarrhea, heartburn, and of course abdominal pain. So, Leo, how'd he do? Agreed. He totally nailed it. Alright, sounds like you're up, Casey. No. God, sweet mother of, choices. Just give me, like, a medical question just once. Come on, you're ruining it right now. The two of you nail every single question you fire at each other, at least when you're not both petting cats. A quick glance around proves that everyone else is doing just as well cool answering questions, or each other's questions. Wow, maybe we do know our stuff. You feeling better now, Sienna? Much. I was so worried we were behind, but now we're totally killing it. Which means we probably earned a little break, right? You're petting cats, drinking coffee, and relaxing. This is called life right now. God. Hold on. Coffee. Definitely. And I think I know how to... I want to spend it. Ow. Yes, in fact, spending time with you is the reward. 5 of you spend the rest of the evening in the cat cafe, studying and cuddling your cats at every opportunity. Later that night, you're lying in your bed trying to sleep, but your mind is going 1,000 miles a minute, unable to turn off. That's why you fapped a nap. I should get some merchandise and put that on there. There's still a lot of material to cover before the boards, and Bloom's not gonna stop interfering. Not to mention, Francis's case with the AVM keeps nagging at me. Not sure I made the right decision about life support. And when it becomes clear your brain's not going to turn itself off, you slip out of bed and head to the kitchen for a soothing drink. Casey, what are you doing up? Can't sleep. I thought I might as well make a cup of tea. Just fixing a midnight snack. All the studying made me hungry. Here, I'll put the kettle on. Soon, Elijah's snack and your tea are both ready. You sit in the companionable silence for a few minutes, you taking thoughtful sips as Elijah eats the grilled cheese he made himself. Mother... This is nice. It feels like I don't see much of you these days. Yeah, I guess we don't bump into each other at work as much as now that I'm in the research lab all day. I love it, don't get me wrong, but I do miss seeing the rest of you around the hospital. I guess we do have to carve out the time to catch up here, rather than assuming we'll just link up at work. Works for me, but I might have to beg off anything serious for at least a couple weeks. We're at a pretty critical point in our research right now. How's the research going anyway? Oh man, it is amazing. We're doing some seriously interesting work. Nerve cell regeneration, right? How is Marshmallow, by the way? Rehomed and happy. But yet the data we got from him is off the charts. I wish we could have brought him home. We'll be starting human trials pretty soon. We're thinking that this could be bigger than we dreamed. It might even restore mobility to people who have been paralyzed. That research sounds incredible. Think of all the applications a treatment like that could have. Trust me, I'm never not thinking about it. We still got a long way to go, but I'm hopeful that the human trials are going to be just as positive. But aren't things going a little quickly? I mean, if you only just got the data back for the mice. I'm not worried. We're still going through all the regular clinical phases, just faster. If we confirm it's as promising as it seems, then we can go to the official FDA trials. That sounds exciting. I'm so happy for you, Elijah. You must be thrilled. Thanks. It's been really great to be able to make a difference for once. I mean, on a large scale like this. But I never would have had the chance to get this far without someone at the helm with a real vision. You mean Bloom? Absolutely. I know he's got his own motives, but he's an honest-to-God visionary on this stuff. He's made research so much more efficient and effective. I guess that's true. Anyway, it's way past my bedtime. I'm glad we could catch up, though. Definitely. Sleep well. He leaves you alone in the kitchen, musing over your drink and even more troubled thoughts than you were dealing with before. Bloom's willing to meddle with the diagnostics team, and clearly he's willing to cut corners on research. He has a vision, sure, but what's he willing to sacrifice to realize it? Bloom started flexing his muscles at the hospital. Will turn out for the best, or will, failing fast, hurt more patients and your friends. Keep playing to find out. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below, links to social media, Discord, and if you like to support me and my content. And without further ado, hope you all did enjoy, and I hope especially you're all enjoying this nice weather that we're having. And hope to catch you all later. Oh, and by the way, I'd like to start doing some VIP stuff. Especially because I need to, fix a couple of mistakes I've made, say, for instance, on, like, foreign affairs and things like that, and then limited keys would help. So if you guys would like to assist with that, there are links down in the description below to help out the channel, especially for monetary purposes, because, yeah, just remember that I do take care of 2 special needs brothers, have my own medical concerns, and must keep the lights on, as well as keep pumping out this content. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, catch you all later, and, also, you can always hit the join button, too. There are 3 tiers for that. Check it out. Bye.